All right, let's jump right in. When you're planning a move to another country, it's so easy to get caught up in the big stuff, the ships, the containers, the paperwork, but an international move is about so much more than just logistics. It's really about moving your life's story, one precious piece at a time.
And that right there, that's the heart of what we're talking about today. This isn't just about getting furniture from point A to point B. It's about making sure the things that really mean something to you, the things that tell your story, are protected.
So, think about it for a second. What are the things in your house that tell your story? Maybe it's a piece of art you bought on a special trip, or that family heirloom that's been passed down for generations, that beautiful antique desk, or maybe a musical instrument you've had for years. These aren't just items, right? They are irreplaceable pieces of you, and you just can't toss them in a regular box and cross your fingers that they'll survive a trip across the ocean.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at why protecting your story is so crucial. Then, we'll walk through what an expert packing process actually looks like. After that, we'll get into what custom crating is all about. And finally, we'll see how it all adds up to true door-to-door peace of mind.
Okay, first up, protecting your story. Because honestly, the journey your things take overseas has a ton of hidden risks that most of us never even think about until it's way too late.
Look, if you're just moving across town, sure, standard boxes might work just fine. But an international move, that's a whole different animal. Your belongings could be on a ship or a plane for weeks, dealing with constant vibrations, huge swings in temperature and humidity, and getting moved around by different crews. Standard packing just isn't designed for that kind of punishment. Custom packing, though, is literally engineered to be a fortress against all of it.
So, what's the real takeaway here? It's all about getting rid of the anxiety, the what-ifs. It's that feeling of knowing that the delicate finish on your antique furniture or the fragile neck of your guitar will get to your new home in the exact same condition as when it left. It's a promise of certainty during a very uncertain time.
So how is that promise actually delivered? Well, that takes us right into our second section, the expert packing process. This is where the real magic happens, right in your home, with a level of precision that's kind of mind-blowing.
It all starts with an in-home assessment. An expert comes to your house and they're not just counting boxes. They are creating a strategy, identifying every single thing that needs special handling. Then comes the professional wrapping and padding. We're talking about high-grade, specialized materials layered in a very specific way to create a protective cocoon. And for the most delicate surfaces, they focus on stabilization, making sure absolutely nothing can shift, rattle, or break, no matter how bumpy the ride gets. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. An international move is a one-shot deal. You can't turn the ship around to repack something. That's why every single step in the process is so deliberate and so incredibly important. There's just no room for error.
But some things need even more protection. And that brings us to Section 3, custom crating. Think of this as the ultimate suit of armor for your most prized possessions.
Okay, so when you hear the word crate, I want you to forget about a simple wooden box. A custom crate is a piece of engineering. It's built from the ground up to fit your item perfectly, like a glove. It's reinforced to handle the incredible pressures and forces inside a shipping container. The entire goal is to achieve zero movement. It is a bespoke fortress for your valuables.
To really wrap your head around this, let's take a big, complicated example. Think about it. How in the world do you get a grand piano safely across an entire ocean? It seems almost impossible, right?
Well, it's an art form, really. First, a team of specialists carefully takes it apart, the legs, the pedals, the lid, and they pack each of those pieces separately. Then, the main body of the piano gets wrapped in layers and layers of cushioning and is secured so it can't move an inch. And finally, a custom crate is literally built around it, with internal supports designed to distribute all that weight perfectly. It's an incredible process, all to make sure that piano arrives ready for a concert.
Okay, so everything's packed and crated. We're done, right? Not even close. That brings us to our last section, door-to-door peace of mind. Because the protection doesn't stop when the lid is closed. That's really just the beginning of a very carefully managed journey.
You see, true peace of mind comes from having one single, coordinated plan for the entire trip. We're talking about making sure your crate is loaded securely in the safest part of the shipping container. We're talking about transport that's aware of the climate to protect against extreme temperatures. Of course, there's comprehensive insurance covering the full value. And you get to track your shipment from start to finish. It's a complete chain of professional care, from your old front door to your new one.
So who really needs this kind of service?
Well, it's for families with generations of heirlooms. It's for musicians and artists whose instruments and works are their passion and livelihood. It's for collectors, executives. Really, it's for anyone who is moving things that are, quite simply, irreplaceable.
And at the end of the day, that's what this all comes down to. Moving to a new country is one of the biggest adventures you can have. It should be exciting. By taking care of the safety of your most cherished items, you get to focus on that excitement instead of worrying about what could go wrong.
And we'll finish with this idea, because it brings everything full circle. This is not about just moving stuff. It's about protecting the very soul of your home, the things that make it feel like your home, no matter where in the world you are.